Coming up on RNE-TV, the district has increased several safety procedures, and I'll tell you more about these changes.
Plus, book banning is a hot topic. How is RNE's Media Center responding? And we blast off with the Science National Honor Society. Get ready because RNE-TV starts now. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. I'm Zoe Beecroft. Welcome to our final episode from Mr. Chambers' classroom. We will be back in the studio next week. We survived exams. As we head into the new semester, you might notice more changes around RNE. Many of these changes are to address safety concerns. Here is RNE-TV reporter Mika Avni with the district's response to safety.
Schools around District 2 have changed rules to maintain a safe environment for students and staff. Students noticed this change came about after violent altercations at football games.
All right, as far as football games are concerned, one thing that's imperative now for Richland 2 is that we increase the amount of supervision that school resource officers and also security officers for the district, as well as admin also.
That's the gist of it. The metal detectors, the clear bags is something that was already there. The metal detectors were already there too. We just got some upgraded metal detectors. And then the congregating and the student IDs is what's new.
Blythewood had a recent incident involving a false report of gunshots. Law enforcement responded to a call from an unknown number claiming there to be gunshots fired on Blythewood's campus. Luckily, District 2 has safety teams in place for incidents like these.
First Northeast Nurse Peck had to leave school and report to Blythewood to assist the trauma response from students and staff.
The situation at Blythewood, initially, like everybody else, you didn't really know. So we were meeting up for the unification spot. When we figured out that wasn't it, then we went to assist the nurses there.
There have also been metal detectors placed at schools around the district when entering the facilities.
So the metal detectors here for our safety, for our staff and our students. We've had an uptick in weapons on school grounds, not only here at Richland 2 or Richland Northeast, but all over the country.
While the metal detectors aren't permanent, many students have their own opinions about them.
I feel like it's smart, but it's very time consuming. Like, we're gonna be very late to class.
I feel like it's smart, but at the same time, it's like slowing down the process because it's probably making students late to class, but I also feel like it's smart because it's stopping people with guns, knives, and all that other bad stuff.
I would say it was a good idea because I came to school to learn and to feel safe. Like, when I come to school, I should not be worrying about my safety.
If you hear of any weapons on campus, please contact a trusted adult. Reporting for RNE-TV Live, I'm Mika Avni.
Along with these safety measures, the district plans to continue the construction updates throughout the summer to increase security measures at RNE. Students got inducted into the Science National Honor Society on November 5th, where the assistant principal gave out rockets and launched them for the Science National Honor Society awards ceremony. Dr. Dunkelberger gave a keynote presentation.
3, 2, 1. They're taking an oath to serve the Richland Northeast Science National Honor Society program with their service, with participating in all the science endeavors that we have, and promising that they will be diligent and serving the best.
I feel very happy and honored to be inducted into SNHS.
I'd say it was either the keynote speaker, she was amazing, or it was launching the rockets.
I have a great executive team, and this year they took the entire leadership and they organized the
RNE hosted Alice in Wonderland Down the Rabbit Hole from November 2nd to the 5th in the Black Box. The show featured favorite characters from the acclaimed show, Myra Samuels as Alice and Sam Weiss as the Cheshire Cat. The performance ended with a standing ovation.
Honestly, all the rehearsals were really fun. Every single time you get to come and work on something different, and you also get to expand, especially whenever people aren't there. You get to fill in for some roles, and you just see how a bunch of different scenarios of the play.
The hardest part about playing the Queen of Hearts was probably projection. I had to keep yelling for the whole role.
to get on stage, but once I was on stage, it was great.
Not really, because I've done the play before when I was younger, so, and plus I really like performing, so if I was scared, the only thing I would have to say for it is that all you gotta do is just forget like the people are there and just do what you practice.
After years of doing this and a lot of theater in my background, it gets to a point where you're just so used to it. And you just like, I could walk onto a stage of 1,500 people and just give a random monologue just thinking of it.
We will have more coverage of PCA Arts in our next episode. Coming up after the break, learn more about Indigenous people in the Carolinas and Richland 2's response to book banning.
Did you get the answer for number 9? It says, what is 8 to the 4th power?
It's 4,096.
Are you okay? Do you need tissues? I got a pack if you want one. You know, you should practice proper respiratory hygiene. Or in other words, cover your mouth so you don't get other people sick.
Noted.
Oh, I almost forgot. Hand sanitizer?
Sorry.
Protect yourself and others from viral infections. Practice proper respiratory hygiene and wash your hands with warm water and soap. It is our responsibility to fight the flu.
Welcome back. Our media center is filled with books about almost every walk of life, but some districts in South Carolina are beginning to ban racially diverse topics and LGBTQ+ content. RNE-TV Live reporter Lillian Morosevich asked how Richland 2 responds to these requests.
News headlines have been filled with reports of books being banned from libraries and classrooms across the country. Although these headlines don't hit home in Richland 2, the district does have policies in place.
So if someone does have a complaint about a specific book, there is due process that they have to follow through.
According to district policy, complaints against a book can be submitted to the superintendent using the citizen's request for review of educational material form. From there, 2 committees will review the complaint. There is a school-level committee consisting of a teacher, a media specialist, and an administrator. There is also a district-level committee that considers the complaint. The committees advise the superintendent what course of action they recommend, and the superintendent decides if the book will be banned. Until a final decision is reached, the book is still available to students. However, parents can still make decisions for their children.
Have that discussion with their parents, and parents have the right to make those decisions for their individual children, but your rights or your beliefs with your children should not extend to everyone else, because everyone has a diverse set of beliefs, and so you need to take that into consideration.
For material to be removed from the library, it must be demonstrated that the material is not educationally suitable, not that it is about issues or topics that are objectionable to committee members. This high standard is required to establish the principles of the freedom to learn and read. The district's policy includes that freedom of inquiry is vital to education in a democracy.
We are very much in support of our students being aware of their First Amendment rights as readers, and we believe that you have the right to choose what it is that you want to read and what you're interested in.
The Richland Public Library System has released articles featuring how to stop book bans, as well as their commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. In Richland 2, the books placed in libraries are ultimately up to the media specialists themselves. Similar to the Richland Public Library System, a variety of sources are used, including published journals and lists, like School Library Journal and Young Adult Library Service Association.
We use those sources and we read those reviews that have been submitted by other professionals when we are considering making our decisions and our choices about purchasing material.
According to both Pamela Williams and Nancy Gregory, the Chief Instructional Officer for Richland II, no books have been banned in the district. Reporting for RNE-TV Live, I'm Lillian Mirosevich.
The Media Center specialists encourage you to come check out any book they have that interests you. If you don't see what you are looking for, check out the Richland County Libraries as well. The Catawba tribe in Rock Hill is the only federally recognized Native American tribe in South Carolina. Tribes across the South work to pass on their culture. Here is more.
The Catawba tribe has resided along the lands bordering the Catawba River for upwards of 6,000 years. Despite their attempts at peace with early European settlers, they were faced with much backlash. Even today, their culture is impacted by this history.
Anytime you have two cultures come together, 2, 3, 4, there's going to be impact.
Some impacts faced by the Catawba Nation due to early colonization were the spread of disease and decimation of many tribal members, customs, and land. These negative impacts continued throughout history and even into the 21st century.
My grandmother could only get a third grade education in the United States of America. And the only reason she got a further education was because she could not go to public school. She had to go to Indian school.
Flatten the grass with their feet in preparation. Despite the loss of much of their culture over time, the Catawbas still strive to honor and preserve what they have left of their heritage.
I'm our language keeper. I do pottery, Catawba pottery. I do baskets out of reed, and I also do baskets out of longleaf pine needles.
The Catawba's love for their heritage inspires the tribe to share their traditions with communities around them and open their arms and hearts to new perspectives, despite their early discrimination.
One thing I can tell you from being an outsider, especially a northerner, I have been welcomed with open arms to the Catawba Nation. You'd be surprised that the people that live in York County don't know much about their neighbors to the north of the county.
If you don't take the time to get to know who your neighbor is, you don't know them. All you're going to do is you're going to look at, and whatever if that person happens to dance out on the lawn at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, you've got your own personal idea of what just happened.
Even through countless struggles, the Catawba Nation still remains a welcoming community that is a center of peace and harmony around their home. Reporting for RNE-TV, I'm Erin Peters.
Although we are back from winter break and most of the decorations are down, it doesn't mean you can't be festive in January. Here is a quick DIY for you to try at home. Check out thesaber.org to watch this show again and try the DIY at home. Well, that's all we have today. We will be back in the studio on January 17th with our live shows. Until then, reporting for RNE-TV, I am Zoe Beecroft. We close today's show with our new alma mater video. Remember, it's a great day to be a Cavalier.
peace.